ॐ ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
ॐ ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
मूर्तिभेदविभागिने
मूर्तिवेदाविभागिने
व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय
व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
सदाशिवसमारम्भम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
ॐ सहना भवतु।
ॐ सहना भवतु।
सहनौ भुनक्तु।
सहनौ भुनक्तु।
सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै।
सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयम्।
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
व्यासेन ग्रथितं पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भगवद्वेषिणीम्।
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भगवद्वेषिणीम्।
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः।
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः।
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः।
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः।
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यै योगिनः।
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति योगिनः।
यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः।
यस्यन्तं न विदुसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः।
We can chant together.
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्ति समन्विते भये व्यस्त्राहीनो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते। रोगानशेषं नपहांसि तुष्टा हृष्टा तु कामान् सकलानविष्टान् त्वामाश्रितानां न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्याश्रयतं प्रयान्ति। सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्य अखिलेश्वरी एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्। सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्ति समन्विते भये व्यस्त्राहीनो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते। रोगानशेषं नपहांसि तुष्टा हृष्टा तु कामान् सकलानविष्टान् त्वामाश्रितानां न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्याश्रयतं प्रयान्ति। सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्य अखिलेश्वरी एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्। सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्ति समन्विते भये व्यस्त्राहीनो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते। रोगानशेषं नपहांसि तुष्टा हृष्टा तु कामान् सकलानविष्टान् त्वामाश्रितानां न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्याश्रयतं प्रयान्ति। सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्य अखिलेश्वरी एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्।
Third verse. Shri Bhagavanuvaच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Aksharam Brahma Paramam
ब्रह्म परमम्
Svabhavodhyatmamuchyate
स्वभावोद्यत्ममुच्यते
Bhutabhavoddhavakarah
भूतभावोद्भवकरः
Visargah Karma Sangitah
विसर्गकर्मसंहितः
Adhibhutam Ksharo Bhavah
अधिभूतं क्षरो भवः
Purushashchadhidaivatam
पुरुषश्चादिदैवतम्
Adhiyagnohamevatra
अधियज्ञोऽहमेवात्र
Dehe Deha Prutamvara
देहेऽम्बर
Antakale cha Mameva
Antakale cha mameva.
स्मरन् मुक्त्वा कलेवरम्
Smaram muktva kalevaram.
यः प्रयाति समद्भावम्
Prayati samadbhavam.
याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः
Yati nasti atra samsayah.
यं यं वापि स्मरन् भावम्
Yambapi smaram.
त्यजत्यन्ते कलेवरम्
Yatyante kalevaram.
तं तमेवैति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भावभावितः तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु
सर्वेषु
मामनुस्मरयुध्य च
Manusmara cha.
मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिः
Arpitat mano buddhi.
मामे वश्यस्य संशयः अभ्यासयोगयुक्तेन
Abhyasayogayukena.
चेतसा नान्यगामिना
Chetasanadyagamina.
परमं पुरुषं दिव्यम्
Paramam divyam.
याति पार्थानुचिन्तयन्
Yati parthanuchintayam.
In third and fourth verse, Bhagavan has been replied Arjuna's 7 question. What is Brahma? What is Adhyatma? What is Karma? What is Adhibhutam? What is Adhidevam? What is Adhiyagna? And what happen if person depart from the one body and having remembered you, then what will happen to them? So we have seen up to 4th verse, and we have seen even 5th verse. It was the last answer Bhagavan has given, and he says, Antakale cha mam eva smaran muktva kalevaram. Kalevaram muktva. The meaning is when body is departed. At what time? Antakale. At the time of death, Bhagavan says, Mameva smaran, one who remembers me, remembering me. And at that time, we have seen the meaning of remembering me is not only do japa, but according to Pujya Swamiji, he says the meaning of smaran means one who knows the real nature of Ishvara also, and one who knows the real nature of oneself also. That smaran, having remembered this, yaha prayati, if that jiva has gone from one body, yah prayati, one who goes, departs, that jiva saha madbhavam yati. That person definitely will get my swarupa. Here the bhavam means swarupa, madbhavam means my swarupa. My real nature is consciousness, and that person is also becomes one with that all-pervasive consciousness. And if that person has conviction, this Atmagnanam, then na asti atra samshayah. There is no doubt what will happen to that person. So atra sanshayah na asti in this subject matter. If person is Atmagyani, then what will happen to them? We should not have doubt, because that person will be one with all pervasive consciousness. One should not have doubt. We have seen up to here, and if this is very obvious, okay, if at the time of death, whatever we remember, it becomes one with that Yadmad Bhavam. Bhagavan says, Na mad vishayaha eva. This is not only this rule is applicable to me only, but this is a general rule. Ayam niyamaha. This is a general rule. And what is that general rule? Kittari. What is that general rule? So in 6th verse, Bhagavan says, this is the general rule. And what is that? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram tam tame veti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitah. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Whatever object at the time of death, yam yam vapi, whatever object smaran, in our thought process, whatever object we are remembering, and ante, at the time of death, kalevaram tyajati, if we depart from the body, then what will happen to that person? Tam eva eti. That person definitely get that object only. If person is remembering Rama, so definitely that person will go with Rama. He will meet Rama. If person is remembering money at the time of death, then definitely that another birth of that person for that money only. If person is remembering something else, let me say, if person is remembering his or her son, so again that person will born in that family with some another relationship. Because that person at the time of death, sada means always, tad bhava bhavitaha. It is always in the thought. It is always in having the thought of that object only. That's why in our culture, there is a tradition, our parents should give a name of their whatever son or daughter, give the name of some Bhagavan. So generally a family person, at the time of death, they are remembering their own, family. So if son or daughter is something Bhagavan's name, so we are remembering Bhagavan indirectly. So it will be good for that departed jiva. That's why yam yam vapi smaram, this is the general rule. So I have heard one story. I don't know how much truth inside, but this is the one story. There is a one sadhu, sannyasi or sadhu was there, and he was an Atmagyani. And he was at the deathbed. So he told his old disciple, if I will get mukti, then you can listen. You will listen the voice of conches, there are many conches that are blowing. So you have to understand, now I have get mukti. Then all disciples says, definitely we will very eager to have to listen this conch voice. And that sannyasi has left Kalevaram Tyajati. But they are waiting and waiting, all disciples, but they have not heard the voice of this conches. Then say, our Guruji was so totally engrossed with their own Swarupa. They always know I am only conscious that what happened to him. So one smart disciple, he has noticed his Guru's face. At that time, he has noticed his eyes, the Guru's eyes was fixed somewhere. his eyes were open and I was fixed somewhere. Then yes, and where he was staring at the last time, last breath. They said there was a mango tree. In that mango tree, it is a very good, mango fruit was there. And I was looking at the mango fruit and is that Jiva is departed. Then they have find out in that mango tree, there is a big worm was there. And he was eating that mango. They understood this is nothing but this must be our Guruji only. They have kept both. um, and after some 1 or 2 days, worm has not long life. So 2 to 3 days, again that worm has died. And at that time, conch is blown. So they understood now, okay, now that Guruji has got mukti. But why he has no mukti? Because yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. At the time of death, he was remembering that mango, ripened mango. So tam tam evaiti. Eti means they will definitely get it. Eti. There is the one verb is there. Eti. Eti means they will get it. Because at that time, sada means always, at the time of death, sada tad bhava bhavitaha. That mind is always is engrossed in that thought process of whatever object he was remembering. So now in our culture, particularly in Hindu culture, people say after 60, after age of 60, we have to remember. We have to start do japa of Bhagavan. Govinda japa after 60. But it is, if they say, okay, if we start after 60, does it work? It never works. Because whatever we have spent life, whole life, that will also be remembered at the time of death. It is not after, within a few hours, we start remembering Bhagwan and Bhagwan will come in our mind. It is not like that. Because our mind, sada tad bhava bhavita, it is very much into sada means always. Tada bhava bhavita, whatever we loved, that only it is in our mind. So our thought process is always remember what is predominant in our life. If son is predominant, son will come. If daughter is there, daughter. If money is there, name, fame, whatever. Is Ishvara, Bhagavan is there, then Bhagavan will. And if we know our real nature, then Jivan Mukti, then Vidya Mukti. Now, Shankaracharya is described, is explained each and every word. He says, yam yam va api, yam yam va api, yam yam, then va is different, api is different. Whatever object is called yam yam bhavam. Bhavam means object of thought, bhavam. Then here Shankaracharya is there. So he think, according to his thinking, in our thought process, only some specific devta would be there. Devta Vishesham Smaran. But if local people, it is not necessary Devta Vishesham. It may be what I'm telling, it may be son, maybe daughter, maybe mother-in-law, maybe daughter-in-law, maybe whatever, money, Devta Vishesham Smaran. According to our, what is predominant in our mind. That thought, here Devta we can replace by any other. Devta Vishesham Smaran. The meaning is Chintayan. If we keep on thinking on that object, and Tyajati, gives up. Parityajati means we depart. Where? Ante. Ante means Prana Viyoga Kale. At the time of we are departing from our body. Kalevaram means body. Then what will happen to that person who is remembering that predominant thought? Then tam eva smrutam bhava. Then that jiva with that remembered thought, eva eti na anyam. Whatever they are thinking, eti means they will get it. This is a verb eti, that person will get it. Na anyam, not others. So from childhood, there are no, they will say they are a prodigy child. Some knows from classical music, some know some tabla, they know some whatever. It comes smritam bhav, a predominant thought, na anyam. And what is the reason why that person will get what they are remembering? He says sada means always, sarvada, tad bhava bhavitaha. Tad bhava means tasmin bhava. It in that object is called tasmin bhava. Whatever we are thinking, any object, maybe live object, maybe some inert object, in our mind is always in that, is called tasmin bhava. Our thought is in that project, is called tad bhavaha sabhavitaha. Means always thinking of that only. Smaryamanataya abhyastaha. Smaryamanataya means always being remembered. It is one type of abhyasa. One type of, if we always say Rama 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 Rama, like declension of Rama Shabda, then we are always used to put there. Same way, we are remembering always son and daughter, our mind is always thinking of that. Abhyasa means they have practiced. It's called abhyasa. In English called practice. Abhyasta hayena sahatad bhava bhavita. That's why in Bhagavatam, you might have heard that Ajamil, there's one story, Ajamil was very, very low person, lowly person, and his wife was very good. She always liked to feed sadhus or sannyasis. So one time Ajamil was not there, and some sadhu has come. Then her wife says, I will feed you, but you immediately after Bhiksha, you go away. You please don't stay back here, because if my husband will come, they will beat you. Because his nature is like that. Then sadhu say, always, okay. Then she has prepared good food and they have eaten everything. And immediately her Jamil, means her husband, has come. And he was so angry. But she was cried and she says, you do something, but don't beat poor sadhus. Then somehow he was convinced. He says, what you will give me? Actually, in Bhiksha, they have to give some sadhus. But Ajamil asked to sadhus, what will you give me? You are eating in my house, you should give me something. Then sadhu says to Ajamil, whatever, now your wife is pregnant, whatever child comes, you give your son's name Narayana. He says, okay, this is not, I need not to give any money. Okay, I will keep my son's name is Narayan. Then son has born and they have given the name Narayana. And that Ajamil was not good. So at the time of death, always he loves his, youngest child. So he was remembering Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. And they say Yamadharma Raja's all messenger come to take Ajamil to Naraka. But when he starts chanting, oh Narayana, where are you, where are you? Then this messenger of Yamadharma Raja said, oh, they are remembering Narayana, we should not take him to Naraka. So he just escaped from Naraka. Only just that Bhava Bhavita. If we remember Narayana, then what will happen? So all stories in Purana, it gives some moral of the story is totally different. And Shankaracharya ji says, Yasmad evam, if it is like this only, Yasmad, because it is like this only, the rule is whatever you remember at the time of death, that definitely you will get it. It is like that. Then Antya Bhavana. Antya means last our thought, predominant thought, Dehantara Praptau Karanam. Our last thought is the cause of next birth. Dehantara Prapta. If it is like that, then Bhagavan says, you have to remember me. You should not remember other else. Otherwise, Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. Mai arpita manaha, mai arpita buddhihi mama eva aishyasi asamshayah. Bhagavan says tasmat. The meaning of tasmat means therefore. If there is this rule, whatever predominant thought of our whole life, that we will get in next birth. Tasmat, if this is like that, then Bhagavan says what you have to do. Sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara. For the all time, sarveshu kaleshu. Here Bhagavan has used kala in plural. The meaning all the time, not for one day, but every week, every month, every year, or we can say all the life, whole life. It's called Sarveshu Kaleshu. For whole life, Mam Anusmara. Mam is me, Anusmara. Here Bhagavan has used word Anusmara. Smara means remember. Anusmara, the meaning of Anu means follow. Then Smara. Bhagavan says to remember something, you follow them and remember me. So what is the meaning of Anu? Shankaracharya says, if person has done Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, he has listened or she has listened Shastra, then according to Shastra, Smara. Yatha Shastram Smara. Whatever given in Shastra, according to them, Smara. Please remember Mam only, Ishvara. So if you are in Purana, if you know the nature of Ishvara, if we remember like that, it's called Anusmara. If you are listening Shravana Upanishad, so in Upanishad it is given, our real nature is, we are not BMS, we are not body, mind, sense complex. We are mere consciousness. It's called Anusmara. Having kept this all Upadesha in mind and then remember me. So two things Bhagavan says. First, Mam Anusmara, please remember me, what you have heard from teacher or Guruji, and Guruji has said from Shastra, that you remember me, and Yudhyacha. For Arjuna, it is Yuddha. Actually, Yuddha means may you fight. Please fight and do war. Because in front of Krishna, Arjuna was there. But if something else was there, if I would say, if Nachiketa is there in Kathopanishad, Bhagavan would say, Pathanam Kuru. You should do your Pathanam. You should do practice your study. So here the meaning of Yuddha means, please do your responsibility. Your daily karma is a responsibility, Yudhyacha. But in which manner? Bhagavan says, Mai. Here again it's Mai. The meaning of Mai means in me. You have to offer Mai Arpita. Means you have to offer what? Manaha Arpitaha. Mai. You have to offer your mind into me. Buddhihi Mai Arpitaha. You have to offer even intellect. We always sing Manaha. According to Tattva Bodha or according to Shastra, what is the nature of mind is always do Sankalpa Vikalpa. First something decide, and it again he says it cannot be like that. It is the Manaha. Always you might have noticed, if we have come out from our house, we have properly locked our door, but after few steps, Again, we would like to check our doors, whether we have locked properly or not. This is called our mind. First is called sankalpa, locked it. And then vikalpa, whether I have locked properly or not. It's called vikalpa. So the nature of mind is always first something decide, and again it always say no, nothing. This type of thinking, Bhagavan says, Mai Arpita. You just offer, you just surrender to me. You surrender your mind in me. And what is the meaning of buddhi? Here the meaning of buddhi means ahankara, ego. I am a doer. I am doing everything. But Bhagavan says, your ego, you consider yourself as a doer, that you offer to me. Mai Arpita. So your mind and intellect, both Mai Arpita. And Yudhyacha. And then it will come, then you do your duty. Then you do your responsibility. Having remembered me, having offered your mind and intellect unto me, and then you do your duty, and plus Mamanusmara. Always you remember me. Then what will happen? Then Bhagavan says, Phalkathanam. If you live whole life as a yoga, then what will happen to you? Bhagavan says, Mama eva aishyasi. Definitely you get me. Aishyasi means you will get me. It is in future tense. Mama eva. To me only, nobody else. Mama eva aishyasi asamshaya. There is no doubt in this. This call Bhagavan is promising. If you do like this, definitely you will get it. This is again Bhagavan has remembered Karma Yoga in third or second chapter, Mamanusmara. So always remember Ishvara and Yudhyacha, then perform our duty. And then having offer both mind and buddhi, Mai Arpita, then Bhagavan says, at the time of death, Mam eva aishyasi asanshaya. Because whole chapter, of 8, what I have talked about, is centered on death only. Aishyasi, what will happen at Prayana Kale? If we are remembering always Ishvara, then we will get Ishvara. If we are always jealous with someone, then we will born again with some jealousy. So better we keep our mind clean. We keep our intellect focused and everything offered in Ishvara, then our death will be good. Mameva Eshyase na sanshaya. Tasmat. Tasmat, what I have told, the meaning means therefore in English. And therefore means if whatever you remember that you will get in next birth, therefore if you want to, your next birth, you want to do something good in next birth, then Sarva Kaleshu Mamanusmar. All the time. Sarveshu Kal means all the time. Mamanusmara. Please remember me. But Anu, Sankaracharya says, the meaning of Anu means Yatha Shastra. Whatever is given in Shastra, scriptures. Scripture says you are not body, mind, sense complex. Then you do your duty without considering yourself as a body, mind, sense complex. It's called Yatha Shastra. If you heard in Shastra, you should have devotion towards Ishvara. And if you remember Ishvara, it's called Yatha Shastra, because Ishvara is everything. Then we are remembering Ishvara according to Shastra. It's called Anusmara. And Bhagavan says, Yudhyacha. And may you fight. You start and do war. And what is the meaning of Yuddham? The Shankaracharya says, Yuddham cha means Swadharma Kuru. You please do your own duty. Here the meaning of dharma means duty. Swa means own. You have to do your own duty. How can I do duty? If somebody asks, Bhagavan says, nothing to worry. I am here. Mayi arpite. You do your duty, but in which manner? Mayi means me, inside me, and who is me? If somebody says, Bhagavan says, Vasudeva, Aham Vasayati Sarvam, I am all pervading. Mayi Vasudeva arpite, one who has offered Mano Buddhi Yasya. You have to do your duty, plus you have to offer your mind and intellect, Mayi Vasudeva. You offered mind and intellect to me, and who is here? Krishna is not only in one body, but here Krishna is all pervasive. Vasayati Sarvam. At that time also, I have given the etymology of Vasudev. Vasu means Vasayati, one who is covered, and Vasayati Sarvam in the form of Deva, and Deva means self-effulgent consciousness. That Vasudeva Arpita offer Manaha and Buddhi. Then if we have offered both, no, we need not to worry about anything. Karma Yoga always teaches us how we can remain free in spite of doing every karma. When we accept Karma Yoga in our life, then we think we are playing our roles. I am playing a role of mother. I am playing a role of father, but I am not father. This is called Karma Yoga. Because in Karma Yoga, we have offered both mind and intellect to Ishvara. Whatever come to me is from Ishvara Prasada, and whatever I am doing for Vasudeva only. It's called Karma Yoga, and then Swadharma Kuru, and you do your duty. That person is called Mai Arpita Manobuddhi. And Mameva, Bhagavan says, Mam, who is to me, Yathasmrutam. Again, the meaning of Yathasmrutam means whatever is given in Shastra. Smrutam is remembered, taught. Yatha means as it is. Where in Shastra, whatever is taught, that Mam eva ashyasi. You will get it. Ashyasi. In Gato, there is a one ashyasi means you will get it. If we cannot understand, Shankaracharya says, Agamishyasi, you will come to me. Definitely you will come to me. Asamshaya. Na sanshaya atra vidyate. We can have no doubt about it. Because whatever we remember, that we will get it. If we remember any animal, then we will get next birth of that animal. I was, nowadays there are many dogs, there are pets are available. But in our time, when I was very young, so one Kathakar says, you have to keep only cow. If you do cow seva, then you will get better birth. But if you do seva of other animals, you will get that birth. Like Jad Bharata. Jad Bharata do seva of that, deer, baby deer. Next birth is become a deer. So whatever you remember, so you become. This is the general rule. So if we remember all the time Ishvara, then next birth is always we are with Ishvara. No doubt about it. Sanchaya atrana vidyat. Now after that 8th and 9th verse, what I have told in the beginning of the chapter, Upasana have been mentioned. Here in this, two topics are predominant in 8th chapter. One is Upasana and one is Prayanakala. What will happen to Jiva after death. So now from 8th verse, Upasana has been explained by Ishwar. And we have seen for Jiva, there are two types of obstacles, Mala, Vikshepa. and third way is called avarana. They are considered as obstacles for Atmagyanam. Mala, we have seen previous time, is our ragadvesha, our likes, dislikes are called mala. Generally, it is in our mind. That will be taken care if we live a life of karma yoga. It will be taken care. So it's karma yoga purifies our mind. Chitta shuddhi artham aham karma yogam karishyami. That's why we are doing karma yoga. Then vikshepa is disturbance of mind, disturbance in our intellect also. Vikshepa. If we sit in meditation, mind goes out. It's called vikshepa, disturbance. It will be taken care by upasana. And we have seen in detail what is upasana. Two type upasana we have seen. One is called sampat upasana and another is called ahangra upasana. Sampat upasana, whatever our object of meditation, if is outside and we think this stone is the Lord Vishnu, then it's called sampat upasana. Some picture is there of Lord, and if we are invoking Ishvara in that picture, it's called sampat upasana. And another upasana we have seen is called ahangra upasana. Ahangra upasana means I invoke Ishvara in my own body. I never see myself from Ishvara, and we invoke Ishvara in my heart, in my mind, even my intellect. I am invoking Ishvara. I am non-separate from Ishvara, even Hiranyagarbha. Such upasana is called ahangra upasana. And when we do upasana, then our mind will be focused. Our mind is ready to accept all people as they are without being judgmental. This is the benefit of all upasana. It take care our vikshepa. So our mind is purified by karma yoga. Upasana is meditation or japa of Ishvara. By doing this upasana, the vikshepa, our mind is disturbed, is taken care. This obstacle also we have removed by doing upasana. Then if we do Shravan, Manan and Dididhyasana, avarana means one type of veil, like we don't know our real nature. In spite it is sitting inside, but still we are not able to see our own real nature. It's like a one avarana is one type of veil is there. But if both mala vikshepa is taken care, and if we are sadhan chatushtaya sampanna, and if we listen this Vedanta Shravana, we can understand our real nature. So this avarana will go. Like every drama, So this whole stage is covered by one curtain. If curtain removes, we can see on the stage. Same way, avarana is one type of curtain. Curtain is covered our original nature. Curtain will be removed by Shravanam. But Shravanam take place when Mala and Viksheka is taken care. So now in this 8th verse, Bhagavan is telling about upasana, and which type of upasana? Ahangra upasana. Ahangra upasana means I am not separate from Ishvara, otherwise I am invoking Ishvara in myself. In my any limb, any organ, I consider as a Ishvara. We will see the meaning, then we'll see tomorrow. Chetasa. By a person who does meditation, Chetasa means by mind. Which type of mind? Bhagavan says, Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena Chetasa. That mind is practiced. And one whose mind, because of practice, is totally engrossed in that upasana, is called Abhyasa Yogena Yuktena Chetasa. Which type of mind? Na Anyagamina. Generally, we sit in meditation, our mind will think except the thought of meditation. Is called Anyagamina. It goes elsewhere. But here, this person, when sit for meditation, na Anyagamin. It doesn't go except the object of meditation. That type of mind, which type of mind? It never goes anywhere else. Na Anyagamina Chetasa. If Partha, person, Anuchintayan. That Anuchintayan, again, the meaning of Anu means having listened Shastra and then he starts Upasana. So that's why it says Anuchintayan. If person knows Veda Purva Bhaga, then it is doing Upasana. But if person has already listened Vedanta, that person is doing Nididhyasana. Anuchintayan, we can take both ways. Anuchintayan is a ahangra upasana. Anuchintayan we can take as a ahangra means nididhyasana. If person keep on doing, then what will happen to that person who are doing upasana? Bhagavan says, Paramam Purusham Divyam Yati. Yati is again is a verb, Kriya Pada, that person will get. And Upasaka, what that person will get? Paramam Purusham Divyam. Purusham, the meaning of Purusham means all pervasive. Purayati Sarvam. Many times we have seen the definition. One who has filled the whole universe with consciousness is called Purusham. And which type of Param Purusham? Bhagavan says Paramam, which is limitless. That limitless, all pervasive consciousness, it is divyam, is a self-evident, self-effulgent, it is not dependent on anyone. Such consciousness, that person yati, that person will get. Because of which reason our mind should be chetasa, through our mind. But these are two adjectives of mind, abhyasa yoktena, one whose mind is totally engrossed, and another, a mind which never goes out, na anyagamina, never goes out. Such person anuchintayan, if such person does meditation, either ahangra upasana or we can say nididhyasana, that person paramam purusham divyam yati, definitely will get that all pervasive consciousness. But detail of this we will see tomorrow. Any question? Any question?
This avaran, you said, I didn't get the meaning of that.
What?
Mala, you said three things, right, Swaminiji?